Good afternoon. Welcome to our Portland Christian Schools virtual open house. I'm so excited to have you here with us today. My name is Rhonda Rogers and I'm the superintendent here at Portland Christian Schools. Before we begin, I want to just give you a little bit of information about the format about our open house here this afternoon. We're going to break up our sessions this afternoon into 3 different sessions. We'll begin with preschool, which will talk about grades ages 2.5 to 5-year-olds. We'll then transition into elementary school, where we'll be talking about grades kindergarten through 5th grade. And then we'll finish up with our high school and junior high grades 6 through 12. We know throughout this time that you'll have many questions. And so as we're presenting, we ask that you enter those questions into the Q&A box located on your screen, and we will take time to answer those throughout our presentation today. You'll also notice that many of us here on the panel are not wearing masks. The health and safety of all of our students and faculty and staff is a #1 priority here at Portland Christian. But we are filming individually and we're taking all the safety protocols necessary to keep everyone safe. And we also want to ensure that those that are watching who need to see our lips and mouths, that they will be able to participate in our open house as well. I also hope that you've had an opportunity to look at our open house webpage and you've seen the videos there. If you haven't had a chance, please do so today. You'll see virtual tours of our campuses. You'll see testimonials and videos that'll help you out. And we are just so excited to have you here today. We look forward to getting to know you and answering any questions you might have. And we hope to see you here soon at Portland Christian Schools. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Amanda Drechsler, and I'm the Early Childhood Education Director here at Portland Christian. And I'm so excited to be here and to welcome you to our virtual open house. This part of the program will cover our preschool department and everything that we learn here. At the end of my small presentation, there will be a pause and you can stay on and join to learn about our elementary program, or you can sign off. There will also be a question and answer at the end of my session. So I look forward to hopefully answering all the questions that are unanswered. There will also be contact information at the end where you can email or call to set up a more one-on-one conversation with me. So I always like to start these things with reading our mission that we have here at Portland Christian. And I feel it's really important to start with that. So it's going to come up here on a slide here in a second, and I'll go ahead and start reading it. It says, it's the mission of Portland Christian Schools to educate students in the truth of God's word in every area of instruction and activity, so that their lives may be transformed by the renewing of their minds. And I love to start with that because oftentimes in my program, people think if they're not in an elementary school, it's just a daycare. And I think starting by focusing on our mission and talking about how important it is for our program in preschool to teach these children and plant those seeds and build that foundation for them to learn and grow, and especially in their walk with Christ and their spiritual relationships. So we also cover a wide variety of curriculum and standards that set us apart from other preschools and daycares, and that's what I'm excited to talk to you about today. So first thing that sets us, it's important to say, is that we're state licensed with Oregon. And why is that important? Well, it's really important because not all Christian preschools are licensed. And by being licensed with the state of Oregon, it sets a safety standard that's so important to have. It sets a safety standard for the building that we have, the program that we do, and the teachers that we employ. Teachers have to meet certain qualifications to even be in a classroom, and they continue their education with 25 training hours every single year. They also are fingerprinted and background checked, along with the normal interviewing and reference checks that normal employers do. So we really, make sure we have to follow that, and are licensed every year. It's renewed, and a licensor comes out and makes sure that we're holding that safety standard that's so important. The next thing that makes us special is that we're nationally accredited with the Association of Christian Schools International. And I know that's kind of a big mouthful, so we refer to it as ACSI. And what does that mean to be accredited? Well, what it is especially ACSI, it's a Christian council that looks at the quality of a program. They come in and they look at what we offer for curriculum, for the biblical foundation that we have, and making sure we uphold a certain quality. With also being accredited, we're 5-star rated with Oregon's Quality Rating Improvement System, which I know again is another mouthful. It's QRIS for short. And, some people say, well, you're already accredited, with ACSI, why do you also have this QRIS rating as well? And what's important about that is that's actually through the state of Oregon, and it's a non-religious organization that looks at all daycares and preschools in Oregon. And you have to submit, again, the program that you do, the resources that you use, what your teacher qualifications are. So it's, another stamp of approval on the quality that we have. And that rating system is a 1 to 5-star rating. And the fact that we hold a 5-star really speaks to the quality of our program, which is something we're really proud of. So, not only do we have a strong biblical foundation, but our program is academically sound. And that's really special and hard to attain. So speaking of that and the quality that we do in the curriculum that we have, I want to dig in a little bit and just give you a snapshot about, what we do and how we learn here. So the first thing to talk about is the curriculum itself. Our preschool follows a scope and sequence that is set up. And some people say, well, what does that mean? And, it's really lesson plans for the month. So we do monthly curriculum themes. Every month, our lead teachers meet up together. I get to join in on the meetings too. And we plan what Bible verses are we going to focus on? What are the letters for the month that the children are going to learn? By meeting with the teachers, it allows for cohesive implementation of the curriculum and making sure that it's the same across the board. So, every teacher brings their own uniqueness into it, and you'll get to meet teachers here shortly and see a little bit about what makes them special. But to have common themes and have a guideline of the basics that they're going to learn, what maybe are some key activities they're going to do, or class parties or other things, school events that go around that theme, allows for that standardized level of quality. It also allows for teachers to get ideas off of each other. A lot of times they'll do new activities each year based on things that they've brainstormed and come up with or learned in a training that they took. So it's been really neat to be able to have that where they get to work together to really make every single classroom stand out and be really great. As far as actually teaching the kids the curriculum, there are different teaching strategies that we use. And studies have shown there's 3 main ways that children learn. First one is with whole group activities where they get to learn from their peers. They get to have group conversations with them and with the teacher. Another way of learning is with small group activities or individualized attention, so one-on-one time. And then the third way is by learning through play. And what I love about our program is that we implement all 3 of these learning strategies every single day. We have morning group time and afternoon group time where they get that whole group conversation about Bible stories and different things that they get to learn and featured stories and songs and conversations about what things mean. Then they have the small group time and individualized attention where it's one-on-one with that teacher, which is so valuable, or maybe, with one other peer and they're working on their handwriting or a special art project. And then they have the learning through play, which some would say is the most valuable in early childhood education because children see and observe, and then they get to mimic and experiment and try new things. And so, our teachers will enhance different areas and add extra learning things to be able to make it where play really is learning. It's hard work for children. So we add those all. And then the last thing that's so important is teacher modeling. And this plays a huge part in that social and emotional development that children need so badly. When they are learning, it's really important because the social emotional piece is just really big on learning how to cope with others and sharing and problem solving. And oftentimes, children need help and guidance with that. And so our teachers will watch and observe sometimes while they're playing and be able to step in if there's conflict with a toy, or they want to learn how to share, or they're frustrated and don't know how to use their words, and they'll get on their level and they'll talk with the children. And oftentimes it's even modeling and saying, how about you say this? I'm frustrated, or can I have a turn, please? And so learning all of these skills are so critical to the success of their school career. And we really focus on that too, which is really important. So with the curriculum piece of it, another thing that we really pride ourselves on here at Portland Christian is our parent communication and partnership. And there's a few things that I'm just going to highlight today. We do much more than what we're talking about, but different ways that we communicate and really work with you for the success of your child. And the first one is with a monthly newsletter. So our teachers work really hard. Every class has their own newsletter, and it goes out right before the month starts. And it gives you kind of a snapshot of what they're going to be learning for the month. So there's different themes in there. There's the different curriculum that they're going to learn, biblical themes, what letters they're going to do, and academic objectives. So you get to really kind of build and help with that homeschool partnership and helping them learn and grow when they're home as well and having that connection. The next thing that we do is the parent-teacher conferences. And we do these twice a year. And they're so important because, again, it's a time that our teachers get to share with you individually how your child is doing. We have assessment tools that we use that go through different developmental domains that they're learning about. We also have portfolios that our teachers work really hard on to be able to show you how they're learning and growing, and you can see their progression through the school year. And it's, again, that time where you can set goals together and really what's important to you, where your child's at, what they're succeeding at, and what they still need to learn to be ready to go for kindergarten. Another way that we have started implementing communication with our parents, especially in this COVID world, is that all of our classes now use the Remind app. And it's an app that you can download on your phone or your computer. And it's really great because the teachers send pictures daily of what your child is doing, sometimes videos, little memos about the day, announcements for things that are coming up. So it's just yet another step we're taking to continue to make communication a focal point in our program. And then the last thing that we can't do right now with COVID restrictions, but we have in the past and will definitely have as it becomes safe to loosen those restrictions, is parent volunteer opportunities. And, you know, this is something where it's just inviting you into the classroom. There's definitely, events or things you can volunteer for, but it also might be just coming in and playing and hanging out in the classroom and reading stories to the kids. We're coming for a class party. I love that we've got an open door policy and our parents get to be involved and connect and get to know, not only the teacher and see your child learn, but some of their friends they go home and tell these stories about. So it's a really awesome opportunity for you. Again, just another way that you get to be connected in our preschool. So with all that being said, I wanted to highlight just a couple things about what make Portland Christian's preschool unique, because there are quite a few things. I'm going to highlight a few today. First one is our large rooms. And I say that because oftentimes, especially with Christian preschools, they're in smaller spaces. It might be a basement of a church or a small building, but this is an actual school building that we have. And the rooms are very large. They're significantly larger than the state ratios that we maintain. So we are allowed to have group sizes of up to 20, and the capacity of the rooms are significantly more than that. So we're able to let the children learn and explore and have space and spread out. On top of the large rooms, every single room also has a loft, which that's fun as it sounds. It's really a very special place in every classroom. The teachers have set it up uniquely to them, but they get to climb up the stairs and go up, and some have it set as a library and some have it set as dramatic play or blocks and building. But it's yet another way where children can kind of spread out and have space to really learn and grow. Another thing that makes Portland Christian's preschool unique is that we have shared spaces with the elementary campus. And what that means is that we get to take advantage of their very large playground, their gym, and get to experience some of those things. So our playground, man, if you haven't seen it, please call me and let me know so I can show you whether it's virtually or, when restrictions are lifted, come in person. But there's 6 play structures, 2 swing sets, a climbing wall, an undercover basketball court. It's amazing and it's huge. It looks like a park. So it's really awesome because oftentimes preschool, even with big corporations, have just one individual play structure that a group of kids gets to play on. So to be able to, again, have so much room to run and play is really awesome. And then having a full-size gym that they get to play in as well. So when it's really cold out, as we just had the snow, our teachers were able to take the kids into the gym and they could still run and and play and get out that energy and be kids when they need to be kids. And so again, that's just another benefit that we have. The other thing that makes us special and unique is our teacher qualifications and tenure. And I know that sounds like a given, but it's really not. In the preschool industry, there's extremely high teacher turnover with a lot of different schools and companies. And there's a lot of different factors that play a part in that. But the fact that we've got so many teachers that are here and stay really speaks volume to our program. And one of the biggest things with that is that our lead teachers all have bachelor's degrees or higher. And what that means is that they're dedicated to being teachers and quality that they offer. Teachers aren't just here for a job. They're here because this is their heart and passion, and they really believe in what they're doing. And because of that, that's why they stay. That's why they're here year after year, giving their best for your children to learn and grow. The last thing I want to highlight today that makes our preschool a little bit unique is that we have extremely flexible schedules. So you'll see at the end of this presentation our rates and options that we have, but we allow 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, part-time, full-time. We even let you add additional hours. So we really work hard to be able to work around the schedule that you think is ideal for your child. The other part that makes it with flexibility really awesome is that you may start with 2 days and realize sometimes even very quickly that you really want your child to be here more, and we're able to move and grow with you and with your family's needs. So you may start at 2 days and maybe even mornings to start, and then it goes to full days, and then it goes to 3 days instead of 2. So we allow for that moving and growing to be able to meet your needs the best that we can. So that's a lot, but there's actually a few additional benefits that I want to talk about with our preschool here at Portland Christian as well. I touched base already on how we share a campus with the elementary school, but not only do we get to use their amenities and facilities, but we also have a deep collaboration with the elementary campus. And there's quite a bit that we do together as a whole school. We view ourselves as one school. We are just a leg of the whole body. And we do a lot of that stuff together. So we have joint events. Ice cream social at the beginning of the school year is one. We do an end of school event. A few in between as well. So, but we do that together as a whole school. We also join our preschool students, join our elementary students for monthly chapel. So every month they get to go and be part of that. And this is something that's so valuable because they get to look at these big kids that they look up to and see how they're worshiping and praising God and learning and growing in their walk with Christ. And really, we talked about teachers modeling, but the kids get to model that too. And so it's yet another opportunity to learn as individuals, but then also grow spiritually. We also do programs and performances together. So we've got the Christmas program, Thanksgiving program, we do a Grandparents' Day program, all of that. And so again, it's a well-organized routine that we do together as a whole school. And so again, they get to see the bigger kids perform. You get to see what your child will grow into as they move into elementary school and have a really great preschool program as well. And then the last thing with collaboration is with our teacher partnerships. And what I mean by that is that our kindergarten teachers even come and they work closely with our preschool teachers as children are getting ready to go into that kindergarten and talk about where your child is mastered, what they're still growing and learning in. They get to visit the elementary school, so they get to see those things and build those relationships. And it just makes that transition to kindergarten so much smoother and less scary for the kids and for you, because they've already experienced some of that with that elementary campus. The other thing that we offer is we offer priority enrollment for our preschool students. So when they're ready to go to kindergarten, we actually open up enrollment for our existing families in the preschool before we open up kindergarten to the public. So kindergarten is one of the fullest programs in elementary, and it's really awesome that you guys get first priority to enroll and not have to worry about a wait list. And then the last thing that we do that's unique, a lot of preschools don't do, is we have field trips and other learning opportunities. So some of the field trips that they go on is the Pumpkin Patch and OMSI, Children's Museum, the fire station. So again, with the COVID world, we were able to, even the summer, to bring in a visitor and do it in a safe way. And as COVID goes away, your child will get to do a lot of those field trip opportunities. So that's a lot, but now I'm really excited because I get to show you some of our ECE teachers, and you get to take a sneak peek in the classroom and see what makes each room a little bit unique. Now I'm really excited to show you our classrooms and our teachers and talk about what makes each room their own and what we can offer your child. We have Miss Malou and Miss Allison. And Miss Malou, you're gonna go first.
Hi, my name is Miss Malou, and this is my classroom, and it's called Lion Cubs. So I've been teaching for 20 years, and I love teaching here at Portland Christian. My style of teaching is more of, well, I love music, so I use guitar and drums, and I use praise songs to introduce the letter of the week, the literacy part of our learning. And for me, in general, every moment in the classroom is a teachable moment. Even just when the kids are eating, we count our food, we talk about the shapes, and also introducing to them the Bible stories. And I try to incorporate our letters and numbers with the Bible story. Kind of like, let's say we're talking about the letter W, we will talk about Jesus walking on water. So I pick out the words that starts with the letter of the week, and at the same time learn what this Bible story is telling us. I try to let them understand what the Bible is telling us with our everyday life. And so that's how I teach the kids, through a biblical worldview and through music. And that's me.
Malou, can you take us and just show us a little bit about your classroom, and especially maybe the loft is one of the things that makes our classroom special at Portland Christian Preschool?
Yeah, every classroom has a loft, and we could set it up different styles. Sometimes it's a kitchen, or we call it housekeeping, and we have the library area, and we have the construction area under the loft. And every year we kind of change it for the kids to see a new and fresh looking classroom. And some of the kids stay here and eat lunch here, and till the afternoon they take nap and do more learning in the afternoon. And we have area for math. We can learn math through like right there. If you are looking at that round table, we have pizza, because we were talking about the letter P. So we have Papa's Pizza Parlor, we just incorporating what we're learning through math and maybe science. And we have our own bathroom, so the kids who are just beginning to learn or potty training, or they don't get intimidated with going out of the classroom to go bathroom. So yeah, most of our basically all our classrooms have this kind of setup. We have centers, we have science center, and we like to display the kids' work on the bulletin board, because they are proud of them. And they learn fine motor skills and or a lot of other skills, cognitive development, large motor development. So we do music and movement, and we have a wonderful playground. Yeah, so here we go. This is my classroom. Thank you, Miss Amanda.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Malou. So Miss Allison, can you tell me a little bit about what makes your room special, and show us what you have set up?
Sure. So the kids call me Miss Allison or Teacher Allison, and I'll kind of show you my classroom a little bit. And here. As you can see, my room is pretty much the same as Miss Malou's classroom is set up. In this room, though, we have mostly pre-K kids, so the kids are a little bit older. So we do a lot more practice with our sounds and our letter recognition. We even have started learning some sight words, and we even look for them in the books that we're reading. We spend time in the mornings. We come in and we do some morning work, and then we have center time for a little bit. And then we tidy up and have snack all together as a group. And then after snack, we head over to Circle. And at Circle, we do calendars. So we're working on counting. We even do some place value work where every day we're counting off till we hit 100 day. And then on 100 day, we have a big party. And that's going to be next week, actually. We're getting really close to our 100th day of school. Right now, we're really working on our color words. And I make up little songs and things that we do to help us remember what the color words are. But they begin with, we've been learning about different parts of the book. We've been learning who the characters are in a story, what the plot is of the story. If there's a problem in the story, we figure out what's the resolution. We've learned about authors and illustrators. And we spend, especially on Mondays and Fridays, we spend quite a bit of time doing a little bit of math. Right now we're working on tally marks. So we're learning how to make tally marks and how when you get to 4, you make a little line through it to make 5. And after we have our circle time, we generally move into our project time. And our project and our circle time kind of go together. So whatever we've been working on, whether it's a science project or something with our letters, we move into that to our project time. And then after our project is finished, we have Bible time. And Bible time varies from Bible stories to character quality, things that we're working on, learning about sharing, taking care of each other, making sure everybody feels welcome and everybody feels safe. We also talk about, we do Bible songs, we learn about prayer and how we can talk to God and how God listens to us. And then after Bible time, we head out and have some playground time. And we play outside and have a beautiful playground. The kids love to explore, so we have little buckets that they can go out and look for things out on the playground. And when we come back, we have share time or math. It depends on what the day is. We break it up a little bit. And then after that, some of our friends go home and move on to lunch. And that's kind of our morning in a nutshell.
That's great. Hey, Allison, can you also just, I don't know if your computer will reach or not, but maybe just show a shelf label. And, you know, we talk about how our rooms are very word rich and, you know, really helping. And this is something, you know, all of our classrooms have, but I'd love to be able to show that too, if it's possible.
Let's see. I don't know that it is possible. And you kind of see our classroom. I also have lots of centers that I get out at specific times that go along with our letters that we're working on and the math that we're working on, besides just the toys centers that are out, that are labeled and easy for the kids to access.
That's great. Miss Malou, are you still there? Do you think maybe you can show or grab a container and kind of talk about the words and labels that we have around the room?
Let me grab one really quick. So these are set up for the kids to see, you know, they are labeled and with the picture that helps them identify, and then later on remembering the words, and they are able to put back their materials back in the right container, and they learn sorting in the process, and almost all our containers are labeled like this, and it helps the kids to identify their tools.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Malu. So as you can see, each teacher brings something special to the classroom and kind of make it theirs. But there's the common theme through all of the rooms that we have of making sure that we are academically sound and really, you know, teaching children to gear up and get ready for elementary school, and then also helping them with their social and emotional pieces as well. So thank you so much for joining us and seeing a little peek at our classrooms, and we can't wait for you to come and visit. All right. Now that you've taken a look at our classrooms and gotten to meet two of our very loved teachers, we're going to put up a slide that just briefly shows what our rates are and what we have to offer. As I talked about before, we are very flexible with our scheduling. So this is the main offerings that we have. You can see we've got a morning preschool option with 2 to 5 days, depending on what meets your family's needs, or we've got that full day option as well. So we also have a school age program, which I didn't really talk about today, but we offer a school age program for when there's no elementary school in session. So summer times, along with spring breaks and winter breaks. And then we also do offer an additional child discount if you have more than one child in our program, and a pastor discount too. So again, there's also some options to add extra hours on top of the main rates that we do. So I'd love to chat with you right now with COVID. And so, you know, all preschools and daycares across Oregon right now need to have stable groups. So a child is in the same room from the minute they walk in till the minute that they leave. We also do daily temperature checks and well checks when children arrive. We do significantly more hand sanitizing and sanitizing of toys and things than what we normally would do. With those stable groups, we also have where we take outside time. One group goes out to the playground at a time. Then we sanitize the play structure before the next group comes out. Every child gets their own art kit. So they've got a box full of crayons and markers and things that are just theirs for the school year. So there's lots of things like that that we do to go above and beyond and make sure that we're safe and clean for COVID. And I think we might have time for one last question. Let me see here. Perfect. Let me see. Oh, how much free time and playtime do students have in a day? You know, that's a good amount of time. Again, you've got that learning through play that's so important. And so we offer some of that. And then we have structured play as well and activities that they get to do. And then they get their outside times as well. So yeah, I think that's all the time we have today to answer questions. Again, please reach out to me if you have unanswered questions or as things come up. Again, you can reach us right at our school phone number. I'm in extension 324. And then my email address, refer back to the slide screen that we did, and you'll see it again here shortly. So, do you want me to, I can actually say my email address. Okay, so it's Amanda, my name, AMANDA .Drechsler, it's DRECHSLER at pcschools.org. Or you can email info@pcschools.org. So, and I want to apologize. Apparently there were some technical difficulties as we were going to, so I'm so sorry for that. Welcome to COVID as opposed to doing open house here in person. And thank you so much for being patient with us. So there's going to be a short pause, and then the next group is going to come on for elementary. If you're here for preschool, I would encourage you to also stay on for the elementary portion. It's great. You know, our hope is that your child will learn and grow and get to join us in elementary. And so you'll get to see a snapshot of what that looks like and meet Dr. Sara Hahn. She's the principal of elementary, and kind of get to know our program on that end. Thanks again so much for joining. Hello and welcome to Portland Christian's virtual open house. I'm Dr. Sara Hahn, the elementary principal. If you're just joining us, this session will cover our elementary program and will last about 40 minutes. At the conclusion of this portion of the program, you're welcome to stay on for our next presentation. There will be a short transition in between presentations. You may notice that we're not wearing face coverings. In order to ensure clear communication, we won't have them on during the presentation. However, rest assured, the speakers in our program are presenting singly, and we're following all social distancing guidelines on this side of the camera. So let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about our elementary program. So it's the mission of Portland Christian Schools to educate students in the truth of God's word in every area of instruction and activity so that their lives may be transformed by the renewing of their minds. Today, I'm going to spend time talking about these 4 highlighted areas around God's word, instruction, activity, and transformation as we look at our elementary program and our kindergarten through 5th grade students. So first, God's word. Our focus is on spiritual and personal growth. So as you can see on the screen here, we have 5 key areas where we help students to develop spiritually. And first is around their biblical worldview. On our campus, as we engage students in learning, we also integrate a biblical worldview into everything that we teach. We also have weekly chapel opportunities where students have time on Fridays to come, of course, in a regular school year, to our gym. We worship together. Students have an opportunity to praise the Lord, recognize students, and hear from some guest speakers and pastors, as well as one of the key things that we're also doing this year with chapel. We also integrate Bible instruction. We teach it just like every other content area at the elementary level, and then we also integrate it in with reading and with math and with science and with social studies. We encourage students to also provide service to others. We want to grow that servant mindset. And so we have opportunities on our campus for students to serve each other on the campus in working with adults, and also being a light out in the community with people who live and work around us and the Portland Christian campus. We also have a peer ministry. So students have a chance to be engaged in leadership opportunities and helping to grow and serve and lead other children who are on the campus. Our next area is around instruction. And our focus is on teaching and learning, of course. So at Portland Christian Elementary, we also focus on our Common Core state standards. We have personalized instruction. We recognize that no 2 learners are exactly the same, and we want to highlight, recognize that, and serve them. So when students come to our campus, we take them with where they are, and we help them to reach their potential in the areas that they may need to grow in or be challenged in. We provide a high level of academic rigor. So when students come here, they may experience faster pacing than what they've experienced perhaps in other schools, as well as a higher expectation of rigor that's delivered from the teachers as they're delivering core content instruction. We want students to love to be a learner and want to continue to grow and just learn as much as they can. And we do that through engagement strategies. Our teachers use a variety of hands-on activities to engage students, engage in conversation around their learning, not just where it's the teacher presenting and the students walking away with something. We want that engagement to be between peer-to-peer and between the teacher and the students. So you'll notice a high level of engagement that happens on our campus. We make sure and always continue with frequent monitoring and ongoing assessments throughout the year. Sometimes that's informal assessments or through observational data.
as well as just our structured standardized testing that we do. We want to always continue to keep our pulse on student learning and make sure students are continuing to grow at a rate that we would expect them to do and see throughout their school year. In addition to our academic program, we want to also grow students to be well-rounded. So we provide enrichment classes during the day. That includes technology, Spanish. Students kindergarten through 5th grade receive Spanish instruction, band, beginning and advanced band for students, art, music, and library, just to name a few. After the school day, we also provide activities or extended learning opportunities for students who want to continue to stay engaged in learning or try something new. So on the screen, you'll see we have Mad Science, STEM, Lego engineering, chess, which my kids enjoy participating in, folk dancing, and athletics as well, and many other activities that we don't have space to list on here. But if you'd like to know more about some of the activities, you can also call our elementary campus, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the presentation. So one of our other areas of where we're living out our mission is around transformation or being transformed. We want to help all students to reach their potential. We want our students to live a life modeled after Jesus, and that is a priority. And quite frankly, one of the main reasons that many parents bring their kids to Portland Christian campus. We engage students in meaningful and authentic relationships. Many of the relationships that our students develop and foster between staff and between parents in the community and with peers are long-lasting relationships, and we want to help facilitate that. Spiritual gifts. We know that our students come to us uniquely designed and created by God and for God, and we know that with their spiritual gift development, that we have an active role in that on the elementary campus. So we work with students to recognize where their interests are or their creative talents may be and help to develop those. Also engaging parents. It's really exciting in our kindergarten through 5th grade programs. We have small class sizes. Our teachers really have an opportunity to get to know our students and our parents. We want our parents engaged on the campus. We want them to have a very active role and know what they can do to best support their child through the learning process and through the social emotional development, through relationship and engagement on our campus. And our priority is to continue to maintain a focus on our mission here at Portland Christian and to live that mission out in our community and on our campuses. But let's hear a little bit from some of our teachers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sara Hahn, and I'm here with our teacher panel from the elementary campus. Joining me is Lisa Singletary, our specialist team leader and music teacher, and Nicole Ortman, our 1st grade teacher and primary team leader. I'm excited to have them join me today and share a little bit more with you about their experience at Portland Christian. I'm going to ask them a few questions, and we're just going to have a conversation today so that we can share with you a little bit more about our school programs, and just our school climate at Portland Christian Elementary. So I'm going to get started with our first question for the panel. Share a little bit about your role, position at Portland Christian Elementary, and what you enjoy most about our school. And we're going to start with Janelle Thomas.
Like Dr. Hahn said, I do teach 4th grade. I have been at the school for 30 years and have taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade while I was there. Definitely what I enjoy most about teaching here is being able to share the Word of God with students throughout the day. We bring that into everything we can, whether we're just talking about the world that God created for us. If we have to talk to students about behavior, we bring God's Word into it. It's just part of every day, all day long at our school.
Thank you. Nicole?
My name's Nicole Ortman, and I'm the department head for the primary team here at Portland Christian. This is my 6th year at Portland Christian, but my 20th year of teaching. I've taught kindergarten, preschool, and 1st grade. What I love about the school is the staff, the families, and my teammates. But since I spend the most time with kids, I would say that what I enjoy most is my students. 1st grade is one of the best grades, in my opinion. It's such a fun year because, like kindergarten, we're laying the foundation for their future learning. In 1st grade, the light is constantly clicking on to what they've learned and observed thus far. whether it's teaching them to learn to read and comprehend or teaching them the foundations of so many math skills. So it's a year of impressive growth for the students that is amazing to watch and be a part of as their teacher. However, the relationships I build with my students are even more gratifying. I love being a part of my students' lives, from the hugs to the love to the excitement I see on their faces when they see me, even years later. That's what makes it so incredibly rewarding. And the fact that I get to do all of that while teaching them about God and his love just makes it that much better.
Thank you.
And I'm Lisa Singletary. I am the elementary music teacher and band teacher. I'm also the elementary chapel coordinator, and I teach drama at the high school, and just recently the junior high volleyball coach. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades. This is also my 20th year of teaching, all at PC. And I would say that the thing that I enjoy the most about PC is I love how we have so many specialists. If you go to a public school, you're only going to get maybe music and PE, and even those will be a little bit, maybe not every week, but we have specials all week long. And I think that's one of the things that really sets our school apart. And it's one of the things that I really love. I love my team.
Great. Thanks, teacher panel. So I have another question for you, and then you can just jump in and answer this one. So as a teacher, share about how your team engages parents and community members so everyone feels welcome, included, and connected, especially on a campus like ours where families live in different areas across the Portland metropolitan region. What would be some examples or some ways that that you or people on your team help to engage and connect families, since we're not a neighborhood school?
I can start on that one. One way our school builds community is through school-wide community gatherings. All of our teachers are on community building committees that put on such events as Pastor Appreciation, Grandparents and Special Friends Day, the Jogathon, Cultural Night, National Day of Prayer, or Family Fun Night. And these events bring students, teachers, parents, and other caregivers together in a fun and meaningful way. Another way we engage families is by inviting them into the classroom to help and volunteer. Whether that's listening to verses, helping with Friday folders, or listening to readers, joining us on a field trip. We just have a great time getting the families involved.
And I kind of would say very similar things to what Nicole just said. As far as the specialists go, we have a lot of activities throughout the year, a big one being the Christmas program. And what we do is we have everybody pre-K through 5th grade involved, and we kind of put it in a central location to honor the fact that everybody lives in very different places. And we have all of them come together. And it's really awesome because, again, public schools don't usually do anything like a Christmas program. So that's something that is really fun for our community. We also will do a student showcase where we'll invite the PC community to come in and see the artwork from all the different grade levels and like the classwork they've been doing, things like that. We have our chapels, our weekly chapels are open for parents to come and visit in a normal year. And so parents can come and kind of hear what's going on at the school. They can see kids doing their verses or getting awards and things like that. So we're just very, very open to having parents and community members like at our events, which is pretty awesome.
And one other thing I would add is we do the 4th and 5th grade musical every year. And it involves the entire 4th and 5th grade, and it is open to the public, to parents, to invite whoever they want to bring. And it also showcases our school as well as what the students have been learning in music and just showing their talent. We have talent chapels for different grade levels, and parents are always invited to all of those also.
Great. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for your answers. Well, a couple more questions. So the next one is a non-denominational private Christian school. We teach the Bible. A few of you had mentioned that's one of your favorite highlights or parts of your job and working here is the opportunity to be able to teach the Bible. And we teach it as a priority like other content areas of instruction. Can you share a little bit more about how you or your team teaches Bible to students at your grade levels, what you emphasize and strategies you use to engage students to grow spiritually?
I'll go ahead and start with that one. Like I said earlier, we really try and incorporate it into the entire day. not just during our set Bible time, which we are doing 4 days a week, learning lessons daily. In fourth grade, we center on the attributes of God and just salvation and how it is through faith by grace. But we also do it throughout the entire day, whether we're doing our Scholastic News, which is like a current events little magazine, and just bringing in as Christians, what do these things in the world and in our country mean to us, and what we should be doing as Christians. How does this affect us? And English, why do we learn English? As a way to worship God and to be able to praise God. Math, that's a math, science are very easy ones. Even in reading, comparing stories, and we get the Bible out, and social studies, there's just so many different ways and different strategies that we use throughout the day.
Yeah. I asked my teammates this question recently, and one of them said something that I just loved. She said, my team teaches the Bible as a whole story that leads to Jesus. The people in the Old Testament are the people who exemplify a need for Jesus in their imperfect heroism. Students love hearing the stories of the Old Testament, but a big part of our conversation is about the good parts of their character and how they are pointing to the one to come, Jesus, and giving the world a glimpse of our need for salvation. And as she talked about character, and as Janelle mentioned, that a lot of what we do is bring everything back to the Bible. We talk about characters in stories we're reading, and we, whether they're fiction or nonfiction, and how their character traits are similar or different to characters that we've learned about in the Bible. And then looking at certain situations and bringing it back to our own lives and what we can do with the things that we face today, and maybe how they tie into a situation that happened into the Bible.
And for the specialists, it's a little bit different because we don't necessarily have, Bible time, like where we sit down and just study the Bible for a set amount of time. So we really try to interweave biblical principles and biblical thoughts within our lessons, kind of like Janelle said, they do throughout the day. So in the arts, we focus a lot on how God has specifically designed the arts, being music and art, as a way to point people to him and his creation. We also get to talk about how we get a little tiny experience of what it's like to be the ultimate creator when we create artwork and when we write our own songs and things like that. In PE, Mr. Colopy, our PE teacher, will talk to the kids about the beauty of God's creation of mankind, as he's kind of dealing with how our bodies work and how we can use them to bring him glory. And then in Spanish and library, the students get to learn about words and how God has given us the gift of language to spread the gospel and tell people about him. So like I said, it's just kind of interwoven throughout everything that we do.
Great, thank you. Thanks, team. Well, I have one last question for each of you to answer. Portland Christian is known for providing academic rigor, high expectations, sense of community, and small class sizes, among many other things, of course. Can you share from your perspective how teachers at the school maximize on these areas to support all of our students?
So we really work on differentiating lessons for students, whether it's enrichment for those students that need the challenge, whether it's one-on-one or a small group with kids that just need that extra help, having pull-outs or push-ins with student support services, helping out with the students. And again, whether it's a challenge or whether it's just reinforcement for students, spiraling our lessons so that we're constantly reviewing what we've been going over to make sure that they get it, as well as moving on with our new concepts.
Yeah, as far as the small class sizes go, I feel like we're truly able to understand where a child is so we can take them from where they are to where we want them to be. Being able to use small group instruction allows us to work closely with each student to evaluate their strengths, as well as locate gaps in their development of their reading or math skills so that we can differentiate learning for each student. We can also check for understanding. We can adjust the pace of a lesson if needed, or reteach a concept that might have been missed. And it gives us the opportunity to work one-on-one with students due to our small class sizes, which is critical and allows us to enhance and enrich our students' learning and success. And another thing that's nice about our small size classrooms is parent involvement. When they come in and they're helping, that just allows us to hit more students. If they're running a center, then the kids that are at their center are getting that one-on-one help just as much as the kids that are at the center that I'm working with. So it's just been really great to have that parent involvement as well in those small group areas.
And I want to answer this actually in a little bit of a different way. I have a very unique experience of being not only a teacher at PC, but also an alumni and a parent. And so as an alumni, I can speak to the academic rigor. And that was years ago. It's gotten even more rigorous since then. But as a parent, what I've really appreciated is how the teachers really care about my kids. Like they definitely care about whether or not they're learning, but they really view the whole child. So when my oldest daughter was having trouble with, being really shy and things like that, the teachers really care, and they reach out and they try to figure out how to best serve her, and not just, well, you need to do this. They would really work with her on that. And then they just kind of challenge my kids spiritually, emotionally. They really work with them on that. My girls have never felt unappreciated or unloved. They've always just felt loved by the teachers. And then with regards to the small groups, the small community, we have really tightly knit peer groups as a result. Both of my girls have really good friends within their class. And something that's come out of that that's really cool is my girls will invite their friends to youth group. And so our youth group is made up of largely PC kids, which is really cool. They want to just hang out outside of the school because they love each other so much. So I would say that the community that's built at PC is definitely something that is just really amazing to watch, and it's really tight knit.
Great. Well, thank you. Thanks to each of you for taking the time with me today to answer some questions. We can best showcase our program for our prospective parents and for those who want to just learn a little bit more about Portland Christian. Thanks again for taking the time to showcase your program, showcase your classroom, and just our larger community for the larger community, I guess. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our teacher panel portion today. Thanks again for joining us.
It's always exciting to hear from the teachers directly and just speak a little bit more about the details of the classroom and what you could expect to see having your child in the classroom. We're going to transition our program to a little bit more of the details around our tuition rates, and some additional financial opportunities to support students and parents as you consider coming to Portland Christian. So our next slide shares with you a little bit more about the specific tuition rates as we look forward to next school year. As you can see, kindergarten is right around $6,800 a year, and elementary is at $7,600-ish a year. So kindergarten is a little bit less expensive than our elementary K-5 program as far as tuition rates go. And as we look at, one of the questions that we get quite a bit is around payment plans. Parents want to know, do I have to pay this annually? Do I pay this all at the same time? And we usually get quite a few questions around that. And so if you look at the screen, I know there's a lot of information that's here. If you have a phone, may want to take a picture of this, or it's also available on our website. But as you can see, we want to make payment plans kind of designed for families, regardless of your financial situation. So, on the far right, it does have a prepayment plan if you did choose to make one payment and cover your tuition for the year. And as you move across to the left, you can see the semester payment plans, 10-month payment plans, and we get quite a few questions around the 12-month payment plans as well. And we have the numbers broken out there so you can see the difference between kindergarten, first through fifth. And we also have the middle, the junior high and the high school numbers on there in case you have more than one child that you're considering bringing to Portland Christian Schools. So we do have financial assistance available. We have a prepayment discounts. If you are a pastor or serving as a pastor, we do offer a pastoral discount. There is needs-based assessment and some scholarship opportunities. And as you can see on this slide, we do have 2 scholarships available for students at the elementary level, with the remaining scholarships for students who are in our junior and senior high program. And if you'd like additional information about scholarships, at the end of this presentation, you'll have an opportunity to get our contact information and phone numbers. So please give us a call and we can share more information with you in detail about that. So thank you for attending our virtual open house. At the bottom of our screen are our contact information that for early childhood and our elementary number is that one and the same. So 503-256-5455. Jessica Ingstrom is our secretary at the campus. She is welcome to field any question that you might have as well, especially around the paperwork side of things. I'm available. You know, the info@pcschools.org will get you to anyone that you need to have the question that you have that needs to be answered. We're going to transition to our live Q&A opportunity right now with our families, with you. However, we want to make sure that you have this information. So if you're a little shy asking a question in our virtual session today, that you know how to get a hold of us. And our goal is to make sure you get your question answered. So please feel free to type your question in the chat box. I'll be fielding in the Q&A box and I will be fielding them here. So thank you in advance for your patience with me. I want to make sure and answer the questions. I know one question that I get asked quite a bit when parents are considering coming to Portland Christian is, what can we do to help make that transition perhaps from a public school into a private school setting? What are the similarities? What are some of the differences? I would say one of the key differences that you might see is the smaller class sizes and the personalized learning and individualized instruction. So that is one piece. We do have students who have been here since preschool or kindergarten who have come through. However, we do have more than one class at each grade level. So new students that arrive are greeted and welcomed and just encouraged and quite frankly celebrated here, because kids get very excited to have new peers join them here on the campus, especially when they've been here and have some old and lasting friendships. Being able to have new kids come in is just always exciting. And then we work closely with connecting children with a peer. So they always have a buddy from the first day that they're here, so that they aren't going at it alone. And there's a lot of communication and conversation between parents and the teacher in advance of a child starting. Even now we have kids who are starting mid-year. We've had a number of students who have enrolled in February and in January and have been off to an excellent and smooth start as a result of our teachers and our students just extending an open arms and finding ways to connect. What question? Do we utilize a lot of technology during the day? We use technology from the purpose of instructional technology. So our teachers are designing and implementing their curriculum. Of course, right now we have our distance learners who are participating in our live stream currently. As we move into next school year, I think it's still waiting to see what next year looks like. We have students with opportunities to use technology on our campus. However, this year, since we've been going from having our 2 hours in person a day and utilizing our Google Classroom for instruction, and now being on campus full time, we are not using as much student individualized one-on-one devices for instruction. However, we do have mobile carts, and we do have technology available for students in a regular school year to utilize. Some of the other questions that I get asked about how many students are in each class Right now we have right at less than 20 students in each class, but some of that has to do with being able to maintain social distancing and some of the requirements that we have in order to be open and have in-person instruction for students. So we do have low class sizes outside of a COVID year. And right now, all of our classes are at under 20 students. How many kindergarten classes are there? Right now we have 2, and we're continuing to have open enrollment right now for students who are joining mid-year for kindergarten. And so there's always a chance for kids to come in. However, we do have 2 right now, and in most years we have 3. Another question, is there a deadline to apply for next school year? All of the deadline information can be found on our website. I want to make sure that you have all of that. And Jessica, feel free to call the school office. We can talk to you about all of the different deadlines for getting all of the paperwork in. March is always an important time for us in making sure we have specific deadlines and being able to do that, so we can start to develop our staffing and make sure we have our lower class sizes and have all the teachers we need for our incoming students for the fall. So if you're looking at applying for next school year, please go on our website as well, and you'll be able to see all the different deadlines there, depending on what grade you're looking at or what campus. One question I get too are what are the opportunities for parents to be on campus and in a volunteer capacity? Of course, this year we have restrictions around that due to the COVID and all the requirements that we have to meet. However, on a regular school year, we want parents to be in the classroom. We will put you to work and in a variety of different ways. We also want to celebrate with you. So on Fridays, parents and grandparents are welcome to come and join us for chapel in the gym and have an active role in being able to worship with us and celebrate with students during chapel. If you're just looking for a regular volunteer opportunity in your child's classroom, that is always an option in a regular school year, of course. And teachers reach out to parents with very specific tasks that they need done. And we look forward to partnering with parents as we accomplish the work together. So one question is around enrichments. If you're joining us just a little bit late during the presentation, I had a chance to share with you, we do have students that participate in during the regular school day. We have PE, we do have art. Even during this COVID year, we've sent home art boxes with all of the supplies to students and families so they could participate in ongoing art instruction. We have music, we have band, beginning and advanced band for our 4th and 5th grade students. And we have peer ministries. We have a lot of different opportunities for kids to be engaged on our campus, and especially for music. I recognize some people may be joining us a little bit late, and just a reminder that a recording of this will be on our website. So feel free to go back and have a chance to look at that if you feel like there's anything that you missed during our presentation today. So one last question, what has changed due to COVID? Well, I'm not sure I even have enough time to answer that in detail. However, I will say that one thing that hasn't changed is the love of learning and the enthusiasm on our campus. It's been so exciting to have students full day for the last 5 weeks. And we've had students on campus since the beginning of the year, although in our smaller group cohorts for individualized instruction. So it's been, the school climate here is outstanding. The relationship building is ongoing, and I'm impressed by the work of the staff and the parents and the commitment to learning that happens on this campus as a community. And so whether you join us this year or next year, I think it will be very evident that our climate is strong, Christ-centered, and just focused around students, which is very exciting. We didn't get a chance to maybe answer all of your questions at this time. However, please feel free to reach out to us. My phone number again is 503-256-5455. For those of you who registered, we will reach out to you. You can stay on for the next presentation or sign off. There'll be a short transition between our presentations. And I just want to say thanks again for taking the time today to join us for our virtual open house and hear more about our elementary program.
Hello and welcome to Portland Christian's virtual open house. My name is Troy Wagner. I'm the principal at the junior and senior high school. If you're just joining us for this session, we're going to be covering our junior high and high school program, and this will last about 40 minutes. Probably notice I'm not wearing a face covering. It's just to ensure clear communication, but rest assured, I'm the only presenter here right now, and we're following all the guidelines. So it is the mission of Portland Christian Schools to educate students in the truth of God's word in every area of instruction and activity, so that their lives may be transformed by the renewing of their minds. Our San Rafael campus, our junior senior high school, takes care of grades 6 through 12. Our average class size, grade level size, is about 42, with class averages being about 16. Junior high courses, this is similar for high school as well, but an average junior high course load includes Bible, English, math, science, social studies, PE, health, and an elective option. Students in our junior high program that are at advanced math level have the option to pursue high school credit as part of their regular schedule. And there are always weekly chapels for both junior high and high school. Junior high elective options, again, similar to our high school program, are art, band, choir, drama. We offer intro to computers and intro to graphic design and yearbook as well. And there are foreign language options. Currently, our 8th graders are taking Spanish. Our high school academic program is really designed as a college prep curriculum to prepare students to successfully enter college after graduation or to transition into a trade skill program. Our high school courses that we have honors classes as well, English 9 and 10, pre-calculus, and Spanish 3. The foreign languages that we currently are offering are French, Latin, yes, Latin, and Spanish. At the high school level in the academic program, we also have AP courses and dual credit classes. It's possible for a student to attend and earn as many as 30 college credits that they can transfer really anywhere. We offer courses in biology, calculus A, B, and BC, chemistry, English language composition, English literature and composition, Latin. We had students took a national Latin exam and did amazing. We also offer psychology, US government and politics, and world history. We'll be adding AP US government in the fall, or AP US history in the fall as well. We have an awful lot of extracurricular activities as well. We're a 2A school with OSAA. We offer a range of sports for both boys and girls. And part of our extracurricular activities as well include students can participate in our chapel worship team. Students actually help create what's happening in chapel and even speak in chapel as well as play instruments and lead worship. They can participate in our choral program. There are community service opportunities. Drama productions are a big thing around here. We also have several honor society groups, the Mathematics Honor Society, the National Honor Society, the National Art Honor Society. We also have a ski club program. We have student council that students can participate in to grow those leadership opportunities. That's at both the junior high and high school level. We have a thespian troupe, and there are travel opportunities, both domestic and international. You'll hear a little bit more about that from one of our teachers in a minute, but there's a lot of opportunity to go around the world and see different things and experience what's happening around us. And you can see there's just a lot of life at Portland Christian Junior Senior High School. And we really work to help manage the transitions of life and really focus on making sure that your child is equipped and prepared for the future that you're helping them build. And we really value our partnership with parents. Right now, I want to take just a minute to introduce you to some of our teachers. You'll get to hear just a sample of our teachers speaking about our program here at Portland Christian.
Kristen Caldwell works in our junior high program. She does an awful lot for us. But Kristen, do you want to tell me about taking a sixth grader and moving them through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and what that looks like academically, and also just some other fun things that we do at Portland Christian?
Sure. So I'll talk about some high points about junior high. Having taught all grade levels at our junior high now for 11 years, it's just been a real privilege to be able to just learn how junior high students grow and mature, and what happens as we kind of slowly take those training wheels off that they had so much of in elementary school. So, there's all of those fun things like having a locker for the first time, and, moving through a junior high schedule. So going to elective classes. What's really nice is that all of our junior high classes, with the exception of our elective classes, are really all in one small hallway. And so students get that experience of, preparing for life as a junior high student starting in 6th grade, moving from class to class, and going through that type of schedule. And then they also get to pick elective classes like arts classes, coding, computer coding, just to clarify. They can take PE, they can take,
music,
arts
choir,
classes,
band, yeah.
right? Spanish as well.
Yeah.
And have taken Latin if they're academically ready for it. So it's a really awesome experience to have both a high school and a junior high school on the same campus, because while we do keep them socially very separate, there are mentoring opportunities from our high school students. And then also there's a lot of opportunity for students who are ready to move on to high school coursework, or just have some more experiences like getting involved with the musical if they want to in the spring along with high school students. So there's just a lot more access to opportunities for advancement and enjoying I would say different types of activities that wouldn't be available in just a K-8. Mm-hmm. So I think that's especially important.
Now, one of the fun things that you get to do, because you lead this for us, is our outdoor school program. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes. So Outdoor School is a faith-based science program. And essentially we take students overnight to a camp for 3 nights and 4 days. And so while we're there, we're learning about stewardship, protecting God's environment. What does our relationship with the world have to do with our relationship with God, and really growing closer to each other in relationship. We find that it's such an amazing growth time for 6th graders. They come back after outdoor school changed. We notice as 6th grade teachers that they come in and they go to outdoor school as 5th graders. They really do. And after, usually we do outdoor school in October. That may change, but usually after outdoor school, we see just a real change in how they've bonded together as a class and as a group, and also just their level of maturity. And they're ready for 6th grade after that. They learned so much there. So we go to a beautiful camp. We take high school counselors along with us, and parents. Some parents volunteer and go for that week. And it's just an awesome experience for that grade level. It is something we really set aside as sacred at Portland Christian. The outdoor school is something we really value.
Now, it seems like you kind of bookend a little bit here. You also lead our 8th grade educational trips too, don't you?
Yes, so I have taken trips to Washington, D.C. in the past, and I've gone with Rachel Humphrey on some of our international trips as well. So we do have different travel opportunities for students beginning, depending on the trip, some after 6th grade, some after 7th grade. So
okay, that's great. You also mentioned high school, like the benefits of being together, and that's why your amazing husband's on the screen too, Matt Caldwell, who you teach geometry at high school and junior high level, but yes, allowing so students who are ready for Algebra 1 and geometry can get high school credit for that even in junior high without actually leaving the building. They just part of their regular schedule. So Matt, you want to describe about some of the math and science stuff opportunities that are available at Portland Christian?
Sure, especially starting with the junior high ability to bring students who are prepared for higher level math to go ahead and take geometry or beyond really opens up a lot of opportunities for when they get into their senior year. Just, was it last year, we had a few students who they were able to move so far forward in their math that our math teacher in the high school who teaches the higher levels of math had to create another course to get them there. And I feel like we can all be pretty proud of that flexibility in our school, that our students are not stuck based on their age, but they are able to grow based on what they're ready for, what they're able to do in math. They get that high school credit. I've got a handful of junior high students who are currently taking geometry right now, and they are receiving high school credit for that. And so that is just more, it's another positive thing for them that opens more doors for them in the future through high school and into college. Our science program is a lot of fun. I'm teaching physical science right now to 7th and 8th graders, and we're having fun with that. We've got, you know, your high school stuff that you would imagine that we would all have: biology, chemistry, the life sciences, physics. But also we're adding into that, or we have added into that, engineering, which is a science, intro to computer science, so coding, learning how computers communicate, which, you know, is generally taught in the high school level, but I'm teaching it to 8th graders right now. I'm teaching intro to coding to 8th graders right now. In principles of engineering, that's like an introductory class where we get to look at all of the different, I guess, branches of engineering, all the different kinds of engineering that are out there, from civil engineering to chemical engineering to robotics. We try to cover everything we can so that students can not only be able to flex their math and science skills, but to be creative in that, so that, you know, if you've got a student who's artistic but also is really kind of a math and science buff, they can put those two together and really be able to create something and hopefully be an innovator that improves something or solves a problem in our world in the future. But also I teach in that class the soft skills of working with people. So much these days we have jobs that you can go and get, and they teach you on the job. And really what they want is somebody who's got the soft skills of teamwork and of a team player, and someone who can innovate and take the business or take the whatever job they're doing to the next level. And so we teach that in class alongside of that creative math and science environment.
That's great. And Mrs. Banducci, Karen Banducci is our dean. Can you fill in a little bit there? Matt's described a little bit about high school credits, moving into sort of some job skills things. Can you kind of flesh out what that looks like at Portland Christian?
My unmute button. Absolutely. I am so impressed by the students at Portland Christian, the high school students, really tend to push themselves, and we have many offerings for classes at the high school level. But one of the things that we focus on is college and career readiness at Portland Christian. And so we offer several AP and dual credit courses. And not only do we offer those courses, but we also offer opportunities to prepare for college using the PSAT exam, the SAT, and so we have offered the SAT now. This year we're offering it as a school day test, so students can take it on campus. They don't have to go to a different campus. It's a unique opportunity this year considering all the shutdowns of COVID, but we will continue to offer that and add in the ACT on our campus so that students can prepare for those standardized tests, college entrance exams. We also, next year, will be implementing a job shadow internship program for all of our seniors so that they can get experience in different fields that they're interested in outside of high school, whether it be to go into the job market from high school or even more so for our college students who are headed to college so that they can have some ideas about college majors. We give our students a very well-rounded education because students don't necessarily know what they want to do after high school when they go into college. And we want to be prepared. We want our students to be prepared for jobs that may not even exist yet so that they are rounded enough to take on whatever it is they might face in college.
So maybe this is a great transition for you, Rachel. Rachel Humphrey teaches a lot of things at Portland Christian, including French and Latin, but also history courses, AP World History, but also Bible, and specifically working with student leadership development. And so maybe that is a great segue for you to kind of flesh out what does it look like to help somebody kind of grow and mature at Portland Christian.
Thank you. Yes, so we're really proud of our Bible classes and the priority we put on having kids learn the Bible together collectively as a group, both having classes in every grade level in which we just really encourage students to wrestle with God's word and to read it for themselves and to ask the big questions and to be in a safe place to explore the challenges that come from wanting to build a foundation on God's word in a world that does not want to do that. So we've been a lot of culture clash issues that we are able to explore in Bible classes, as well as in our chapel opportunities, which of course have looked different this year, but again, that time of bringing people together collectively to learn together and to grow together as fellow Christians, while really making space for kids who are still asking the big questions, who haven't committed themselves to follow Jesus, but are really are seriously thinking about it and want to know more, and just really a safe and secure place for people to explore the faith at every stage that they are at. One thing we've been working on this past year or so is increasing student leadership involvement in chapel and having more students take the lead in terms of both preparing and delivering the music aspect of chapel, but also the chapel talks, having them work together with staff and other speakers to input into each other's lives in that sense, which is really exciting. We have lots of other student leadership opportunities. Certainly we have a student council, which we've been really working at on the last few years for really increased ownership of decision making and not just being a party planning committee, although they do a great job of planning events and putting on great parties, an annual barn bash, winter formal, prom, as well as intramural sports activities, but really giving them opportunities to be leaders within the school, to reach out to people who are on the margins or find ways to bring students in and encourage community in all its forms. And we've been really proud of the kids this past year, especially in taking initiative to do brand new things and find ways to be leaders. And the other thing that we've done over the past few years is have lots of opportunities for students to serve both collectively with our serve days, but also finding and developing and designing and following through on service projects. Especially our juniors have been working on that, and that's been a really phenomenal opportunity for them to grow as independent leaders.
So I saved the last two people because the question high school students would probably ask me the most would be, what about, like, you know, the other stuff, the fun stuff? And so Mrs. McLean is here, just sort of speaking on behalf of those elective teachers. Do you want to share with us, Evie, what's going on at Portland Christian, especially your program?
Absolutely. I have the funnest job, and it's just such a treat to be able to teach art to 6 through 12. And like Kristen was saying, I get to have the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the art room, in the big art room, and they're always very excited. And the 6th graders, especially big-eyed and wide-eyed when they come in our great, wonderful space that we have at Portland Christian for art. And they have a semester of art that they can explore. They can repeat and do 2 semesters and have a whole year of art. Or they can just do 1 semester and try it out and see if they like it, and then try something different. So I love that I can introduce them to some different mediums and painting and drawing and sculpture, and then prepare them for high school. And the ones that do decide they really like art, they always come back, and then we have a more scaffolded program for the high school students. So Art 1 is the basic foundational visual arts class where we focus on drawing and painting, and we do a little bit of printmaking and then sculpture at the end of the semester. And it's a very important class for the art students to take. And then the ones that decide they really like the visual arts will continue and do Art 2 and advanced art. And we've had some amazing students create amazing things and win lots of awards. We had 46 award-winning pieces of artwork that through Scholastic Art. So we do competitions every year and encourage students to put their work into the competitions, and they've done really, really well. And so I'm really proud of them.
When you say 46 awards, you mean just this year?
Just this year, yes. And that, you know, keep in mind that that's a year that's unusual. A lot of these students were working at home, and we did our best to help them along with their projects. And but much of them were working much more independently than they normally do. And we're usually a little more hands-on in the art room. So I'm grateful to have them back in the art room so we can guide them a little bit better. But I was very, very impressed with the work that they did. These students work hard and they want to learn and they want to do well. And it's just such a joy to teach there. And I feel really blessed and privileged. We have guest artists come into the classroom. We've also been out into the art community. So we had a collaborative project that the high school students did this year, and they created pieces that hung in a gallery in downtown Portland. And they were part of a larger sculpture project. Their pieces were incorporated into a larger sculpture project at Elizabeth Jones Art Center. So that was a fun thing that we got to do at the beginning of the year. And I hope to continue to get their art out into the community. It's been a little bit trickier with COVID, but we will continue to make that happen so that their work is highlighted and seen, because that's their performance. And then the performing arts are wonderful. I have been very impressed with the performing arts at Portland Christian. And we also help to get the visual arts students involved, and also the music students are also involved with the theatrical performances. So I love how the arts are all incorporated and they work together, and just encourage the students to explore all the different arts that are offered and find their niche or find the things they love. And many of them do, if not one or two, all three, you know, the music and the performing arts and visual arts. So it's just been a real joy to teach at Portland Christian and see what these students create.
I love the arts at Portland Christian. Just amazing, the community and how supported that is, and the parent volunteers and the Fine Arts Committee and all of those opportunities that families can participate in encouraging their kids in their own personal development and what they're passionate about. And that extends also into the sports. Portland Christian has an awful lot of sports, and our athletic director, Kyle Cowan, is with us. Kyle, can you tell us a little bit about sports at Portland Christian?
Definitely. So I would say our sports are no different than a lot of the other opportunities that we offer in the school. We offer a lot of different sport options for kids and really try and help them see what they can be successful at. And same type of thing that we do in art or in math or science, we give them an opportunity to be successful. So we do offer soccer for both boys and girls, volleyball, football, boys and girls basketball, track, baseball, softball, and golf. So we have a lot of different things that kids can enjoy and again, try something new if they've not done it before. Give them an opportunity to see if they like it, come back for another year. And of course, we want kids participating in things because it helps us continue to offer a lot of opportunities for kids and really provide a great opportunity there. We are a 2A school, and so we play against other Christian schools in the metro area, as well as some public schools that are outside of the Portland metro area. So our high school competes in it really well in that league, and we really enjoy that, the level that we're at and what we're doing that way. I will also say that just like the classroom, we try and have a focus on how we scaffold our kids' athletic experience. So we try and provide them building blocks and what is being intentional in how we teach them early on, so that by the time they're high schoolers, they have a good foundation under them as best as we can provide for them. So that's our athletic department in a nutshell, but it's a joy to be a part of it. And just like Mrs. McLean, I think I have the best job. I get to watch kids play sports all day. So.
Well, okay, this is a review. So here's the big test for teachers if they can be good students. So if you had to describe Portland Christian in one word, you only get one word. Mrs. McLean, you can't cheat. You only get one word. So we'll go with Mrs. Humphrey, one word for Portland Christian.
Family.
Family. Mrs. Caldwell, one word. Oh, you were muted. You'll have to try again. I'll edit it out. So, Mrs. Caldwell, one word.
Care.
Care.
Yeah.
Mr. Caldwell, one word.
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Mrs. McLean, one word.
Creativity, of course.
Creativity.
Creative.
Mr. Cowan, one word.
Well, Mr. Caldwell stole mine of opportunity, so I'll say intentional.
Intentional. Wonderful. Mrs. Banducci, one word.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Well, thank you guys. I'm sure now I'm going to have a lot of parent questions to answer, but I'm so thankful that you were able to join me in this, and we'll just look forward to a lot of new students being at Portland Christian and having opportunity to work with teachers and professional caring people like you. So thank you, and just have a fabulous afternoon.
Well, there were a couple of people there that said they have the best job in the world, but I actually have the best job in the world. I get to spend my time with teenagers, and I get to work with amazing people like that. There's an awful lot more teachers I wish I could introduce you to, but I know that your children would be in great hands here at Portland Christian. I want to put up on the screen, in case you've been with us for a while, our tuition rates. So there's the prices there for kindergarten, elementary, junior high, and senior high. And we'll show you, we'll leave it there for just a second. Then we'll go, here's the payment plan option. Lots of ways to deal with that. I want to encourage you to check with our business office. There are great opportunities to help families afford and put together a plan that really fits your family and will really speak to your needs. There is a prepayment discount that's coming up in May. And then there is a pastor discount as well. There is needs-based assistance, and there are scholarship opportunities. Portland Christian is rich with scholarship opportunities to help families really take advantage of a Christian education. And there are some of them right there, but we really do have an awful lot to help make sure that that happens. So we're going to put up contact information again. So if you haven't written these down yet, this is how you get a hold of either the ECE program or the elementary, as well as reach me at the junior senior high school. So that's the number that you can call and get a hold of me, 503-256-3960. And if you only remember one thing, make sure you remember pcschools.org. A lot of the information that you've seen today is available on the website there, as well as ways to email and contact us and ask more questions. We are going to open it up to a question and answer session. But if we don't get to your question, make sure you have that email address and send us something. So if you have a question, I think you post it there in the Q&A. And I'm going to try to answer questions here as they come up. What AP classes do we offer, and will they be the same next year? We have so many. If I have to go back to the sheet here, because I won't remember them all. Again, there's about 30 different credits that can be earned through AP and dual credit classes for our high school program. Everything from AP Bio through AP Language, Lit. There's a ton there. Our calculus program, our higher math is really great as well. Again, Latin. If you have a kid that is interested in medical sciences, having a high school where you can go and take Latin, get a jump on the vocabulary, that you can build that vocabulary base to really understand that is just so powerful, really helping them feel ready and able to do that in transition, as well as just some classes that you could take, like general psychology. Everybody takes general psych when they go to college, so get that out of the way in the high school program with Mrs. Banducci, who's been teaching it for years, has great experience there, as well as some history classes, AP World History, PUSH, AP US History, and then US Government and Politics. Those are just some, as well as some sciences, AP Physics, AP Chemistry. So all those things that you would really hope would be here are here. So, our student has virtually no Christian background, church attendance. How compatible will they be in the environment? They will do amazingly well. It's a little bit strange sometimes when people think about taking a Bible class as part of their regular high school experience, but our Bible curriculum is really structured to meet kids where they are and to help them prepare and think critically about what it is they believe. We teach everything from a Christian worldview. It's embedded into our curriculum to help them understand God's design and who He's calling us to be. But I can speak confidently that regardless of a child's background in church or in Bible classes or Bible vocabulary understanding, that they're going to do really, really well. So our Bible curriculum is really developed as a team here. I've worked with teenagers for over 30 years. I've been a minister in churches, and we work together as a staff to develop the Bible curriculum. So it's not really purchased from anywhere. It's we collaborate and design it together, and our teachers embed it into their curriculum as well as into the specific Bible classes. And then our math, science, and language arts programs. The easiest way to say this is we not only meet state standards, so Oregon State graduation standards and the content that is required, the levels that you have to be met, but we exceed that. Our teachers are amazingly gifted and talented teachers of carrying state credentials. They're licensed teachers, but they're also approaching all of their curriculum from a Christian perspective and collaborating together as a school. And so the curriculum, if you have more specific questions about that, I would encourage you to just email, use the website, pcschools.org, the info@pcschools.org. Send me a specific question about curriculum. The best place I can direct you is to connect you with the teacher in that specific subject, and they can help answer those questions. What do you offer for students who are interested in entering the trades rather than college? Okay, so a lot of people right now graduating are either doing a year off, they're delaying it, they're thinking about college, looking at the cost, the structure and all of those things. And so that's not an uncommon question. What we're really structuring is a program that's still a college prep school, because you never know when you might decide that you need that college education, but we're also developing and implementing the opportunity for students to check out, either by having professionals come to our campus and speak about job skills programs. We have a huge college fair event that we also include military personnel, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, as many job skills kinds of things as you can imagine. We invite them to our campus. And then we're also developing a program with our seniors when we get back to a little more normal, allowing our seniors to participate in internship programs, even if that means just visiting for a period of time and working alongside somebody and getting an idea of what a career requires, but putting them in that place so they can kind of decide what they're interested in. And so those opportunities are here as well. Are students allowed to leave campus during the day? So our juniors and seniors have off-campus opportunities. That means that they can leave during their lunch period. Many of them just go locally here, Taco Bell, Mod Pizza, some other places, Subway, really close by. And so juniors and seniors do have off-campus privileges. The other grades do not. They often petition me about that, but that's the way it is right now. And in the COVID environment, not at all right now at all. So how involved can I be as a parent? How involved would you like to be? That's my question back to you. There are many opportunities to connect. It was sort of briefly mentioned by our teachers. There's a fine arts committee. Those are parent volunteers who work together to really strengthen the arts across the board here, whether that's the performing arts like drama and music, or the visual arts. And so they work to do that. There are also opportunities through our Sports Boosters program, parents that are volunteering to help strengthen our sports program and help that, as well as opportunities like showing up and working in our lunch service in our cafeteria. We do have a hot lunch service normally, and we'll have that again in the fall. And so parents come in and just help with that, work in our student store, or just come in and volunteer and help teachers out in various ways. So there are many ways to be involved. Mrs. Caldwell mentioned our outdoor school program, where parents are going along with them. There are other field trip opportunities, those educational tours. Many times parents sign up and attend those as well. So there's a lot of ways to stay connected. And I'm very much looking forward to having people back connecting the way in our community Portland Christian is used to. It's going to be a great day. Last question. Will you offer football in the fall? Do you have several football players? Because I would like more. So it's our intention to offer football again in the fall. And hopefully everything in the world will be put back together a little more, and we'll be able to offer that program again, as well as the other sports programs. There are some that are happening right now, even with restrictions, but football is a complicated one. So but we do hope to have it again. Okay, if I did not get to your question, I'm sure there are more out there. I want to encourage you to email us, info@pcschools.org, and we'll get back to you. If you registered, we'll make sure to connect with you and follow up and help you with anything that you need. But I really appreciate you joining us and taking the time to learn about Portland Christian. And so you can always reach out to me. Just call the main school phone number, 503-256-3960. And it was really a pleasure to be here to talk to you about Portland Christian and what we can do to support you and your family and walk alongside you as you help your kids grow up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our Portland Christian Schools virtual open house. I hope you had an opportunity to learn a little bit about us. and we are sure looking forward to learning more about you. As a reminder, our sessions today were recorded and we will be pushing them out shortly over the next couple days, and you can access those at your leisure. We will also be reaching out to you if you registered today for our open house. But remember, we're just a phone call away, and we'd be happy to meet with you individually to talk about your family's needs and how we can support you here at Portland Christian. So again, thank you so much. We know your time is so valuable, and we appreciate you coming and meeting with us today. And we look forward to getting to know you individually and for you to become part of our Portland Christian family. Thank you so much, and God bless.